Welcome to Catatonia's channel. A lot of you have been asking a lot of questions, so we're going to interview him. We did try to get Parky in, but he wouldn't come out of retirement. We also tried to get John Bishop in, but he's still too busy laughing. We thought Jeremy Kyle, but a bit too close to the truth, I think, so we'll get him in, we'll ask some questions, see how we go. So, welcome Steve. I've got a few questions to ask you from your adoring public.
Adoring public, yeah,
adoring
right.
Public.
Go on.
So, just out of curiosity, why are we doing this video?
Well, I get asked a lot of questions all of the time, and I do try to reply to them in the videos, but I thought I'd just do a quick question and answer the top 10, 12 or so questions that I get asked. Put a quick video out there as well, and try and answer them all as candidly as I can.
Candidly. So to help you relax, we've obviously got your favourite tipple of Jack Daniels
yeah,
and
I love
Coke
it, JD and
to
Coke.
relax, so
Yeah,
cheers.
Yeah, JD and Coke.
We'll enjoy the interview. So, Steve, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 45, obviously from the UK, as most of you guys across the pond can tell by the accent. I'm married to you for coming up for 10 years now. We live in a nice area in Cheshire in the UK. I'm an IT guy. I've been a programmer, a contractor. I've worked on Windows servers, and I'm working as a project manager in airline industries, building websites and stuff like that. And I have loads and loads of hobbies which I just jump and change from. But yeah, things like I used to be a motorbike racer. I'll put some videos, some pictures up here.
Good old days.
Yeah, the good old days. That's how we met at Mallory Park. I used to be into remote control aeroplanes and helicopters. I love astrophotography, so I'll leave some pictures of my telescopes and some of the images I've done. So yeah, I think that's about as much as I'm gonna say, really. Sort of a 45-year-old, UK IT contractor.
So you got the name Catatonia. Now I knew that from your biker days. Where did that name come from?
That's quite a funny story, actually. A long time ago, back in the early days when IT games, when computer games were starting to get onto the internet, you had to have a handle, a username. And I used to go by the tag of Morog, which was too close to moron. So I thought I need to change that a little bit. So I was trying to think of a name, and I was hearing this Welsh band on the radio called Catatonia. And me being me, as usual, I spelt it wrong. And well, Catatonia, it sort of stuck. Nobody else was using it, and that's how it stuck. So Catatonia, Cat. Lots of people call me Cat. But yeah, that's where it all came from.
Nice. So, obviously you're into your air rifles. And obviously as part of other hobbies that you swap and change from. What made you get into your air rifles and then obviously go onto your YouTube channel?
Well, I've always loved air rifles, like any young kid loves, rifles and shooting. I used to be in the cadets, and then I was in the Territorial Army, which is the reserves, for those that are not familiar with that term. And rifles have always been part of it. But my father was also been into his shotguns. He was in the army as well, and he's now a retired and as a gamekeeper. And it was always a problem of money. Yeah, it's not a cheap hobby. It can be cheap, but it does help if you've got a little bit of money. And basically, once life was settled down, we bought a house and got married. All the turmoil of normal life, and you've got a little bit of disposable income, then you can actually dive into some of those hobbies. And of course that meant then I could go and buy some air rifles, buy some stuff. And it's always been a hobby of mine. It's just the lack of funds at times that started it. So and I got a little bit tired of when I was looking for my first air rifle to go and actually, I will generally always go and look on YouTube channels, Facebook. I'll go and look on forums, and I'll go and do a load of research before I go and buy anything. I do that for anything, be it a camera, be it a car or an air rifle. And I was getting really frustrated that all of the air rifle reviews were sponsored. They were given the rifles by the manufacturers, and it's very one-sided, very salesy. And then I saw a couple of reviews where there was obvious flaws of the rifle that other people were saying in the forums, but they just weren't in the reviews. So basically I had a Springer, which I think you brought me for Christmas once.
Yep.
And then I went out and spent £1,000 on my cricket. And it was after when I got that cricket I realised that there were certain flaws with it. I was watching a few videos and they were singing its praises. And they didn't mention any of the bad things about it. So I thought, well, I've got a video camera. Why not? Let's do it. I've always liked video. I love it. I love anything IT wise. So I thought, yeah, let's do it. And that's how it all started, really. Basically reviewing something that I had and just going straight honest with it and just saying, I'm not being paid to do this, I'm just doing it. And people seem to like it. And that's how the old concept started off with, well, let's try and do an unsponsored, unbiased YouTube channel. So that's how it started.
Okay, so you've done all your reviews, you do your YouTube stuff, and you make more of a statement of not being an expert on air rifles and you know nothing.
Well, yeah, I do get quite a few comments. Yeah, what makes you the expert? Why are you the all-telling, singing god on air rifles? And the simple answer is, I'm not. I'm not at all. I'm just like most of the people that watch the channel. I have a passion with the air rifles. There is a lot more people out there more experienced in air rifles than I am. I am just giving my viewpoint across on it. I will make mistakes like everybody else. Sometimes I'll say things right, sometimes I won't, but at the end of the day, generally I've got the rifle, I'm not sponsored on it, I will just look and I'll go and I'll say what I think of it all. And as I always say to anyone, that if you're going to review anything or you're looking to buy anything and you're just looking for people's views on it, don't just take my opinion, take others and build that together. And use that as your choice with mine and other people's reviews before you make that decision. But I'm no expert, I openly admit it. Some of the stuff I've never touched before, and there's a lot more people out there, which is why really I hope people start put the comments down below. And it's a collective sort of forum in a way that people can all come together and talk about certain things and allow people then to make an informed decision.
So I've seen some of your YouTube videos. Why are the adverts in there?
It's always a sticky one, this one. Well, quite simply, it costs me to do the videos. I've got to go and collect the rifles. Sometimes I buy the kit myself, and I do try and sell some of the stuff that I brought for review, and then I sell it. But at the end of the day, it does cost me, and it costs me not only just in petrol and my own money as well, but in terms of time and effort to put a video together. To generally put a video together takes me a good 4, 5, 6 hours. Maybe even a week if I'm reviewing a certain piece of kit, maybe even a month when I'm doing a rifle. Now I get the fun of playing with the rifle, but at the end of the day it's still costing me some money. So, you know, at the end of the day this is free content out there for everybody to look, and most people will skip through the adverts or just close them down anyway. So it's just a way of giving a little bit back to the channel, sort of recouping a little bit of cost in there. Maybe pay for a little bit of petrol money, some tins. I know people don't like it, but at the end of the day, YouTube is free content. I'm no different to anyone else, really.
Okay, so talking about the rifles and the kits, which obviously I know you haven't got, where do you get them from?
Well, it really comes down to my subscribers. I ask my subscribers to loan me equipment. They will sort of like the channel. They will like what I'm doing, and then they will contact me and I will go and borrow the rifles off them. I will go and drive and meet them, say hello to them, build a friendship, borrow the rifle, maybe swap one of my rifles with theirs. And that's where the kit comes from, purely down to my subscribers. BSA, Daystate, Air Arms, none of them give me anything. I don't think they're brave enough to do it, to be honest. Because if they know that I will say it as it is, I ain't going to give them a free advert. So the kit I get either comes from my own money that I go and buy stuff, or any guys out there that are brave enough, like Snappy Targets, yeah, they're brave enough to send me some stuff. Or basically the majority of it comes from my subscribers who send it to me, or I go and meet them and I borrow it off them and do the review because they like the channel. That's where it all comes from.
What's the furthest you've travelled to pick your
Oh, the furthest I've travelled probably, yeah, I don't know, 100 or so miles to go and collect a rifle. I think Johnny was one of my first guys that lent me a rifle, and Mike as well, up in on the Wirral. Those guys, I'd regularly go up and collect a rifle and keep it for a month or so, and then go back and swap it around. So, I travel a little bit to go and get them. I try not to go too far because obviously, it costs and its time and its effort to do it.
To being cheeky, how much money do you make on your YouTube channel?
I get asked this all the time. Every YouTuber gets asked this. Let's put it this way, I'm not going out and buying myself brand new rifles every week. I'm not making a fortune. Nowhere near it. I'll just give you some rough rule. And this applies to most YouTubers. It's public information. But generally for every 1,000 views I get on a video, I make about 80p in advertising fees. I make a little bit extra from some of the Amazon affiliates as well, but it's not life changing, trust me, and it doesn't pay for it at all. At the end of the day, it costs me to do this, but I enjoy it.
Okay, so you make a little bit of money. Do you get any freebies?
I get some freebies, yeah, I do get some freebies. Snappy Targets, for example, they sent me some free targets under the proviso that I could tell the truth and say what I wanted to say. And they let me do that, and I put the video out. So I got about 10, maybe 15 quid's worth of free targets out of that. But generally, no, I don't get any freebies out of it at all. I do sometimes get some guys that will come to me and say, can you link this into Amazon for me, because we like your video. And that's why I do that. I will put the Amazon links down below because I get a bit of a kickback on it and it helps the channel. But no, not really. I don't get any freebies out of it at all.
So on your comments, do you actually censor any of them in your videos?
I've been really, really lucky actually, because I think it's probably the genre that we have with air rifles is that it tends to be a more mature age group. So we don't get all of I don't get all of the kiddies on the comments down below. So generally, I don't have to censor the comments. I never remove any comments that I don't agree with. The only things that get removed, or anyone that is being disrespectful or swearing in the comments, then I will just automatically ban them. At the end of the day, if that's your attitude, bang, you're out of here. And I think in a year that the channel's been running, I've got a list of about 10 people that I've actually blocked. And the nice thing about it is that when I do block them, I just go block. They don't get to see that. They don't even realise it's happened. So they're probably for this day forever still typing away on all my videos. None of you guys get to see it. I don't get to see it. It's blocked. So if you're one of those guys out there that want to do that and put all those hate comments, go for it. I'll just block you. You're wasting your time. Nobody else gets to see it. So I've been really, really, really lucky, and I really do promote the conversations down there. If people do want to comment, and if they disagree with me, post away. More than happy. Like I said before, I am not the expert in this at all. I'm just giving my viewpoint across, and I really encourage the comments.
Okay, so do you try and reply to every single comment you get?
I try to reply to every single comment. I've been doing pretty good recently. I generally will look at them once every couple of days and have a look and try and put some replies. But as the subscriber count is getting higher and the more comments are getting there, then obviously it's going to slack off a little bit. But I try to do my best, and I try to give good, honest comments. I do actually have some good feedback from some of my subscribers asking me some proper in-depth questions on what I think about things. So I do at the moment. I will continue to try and do it.
Okay. So as we've noticed recently, you've made some changes, obviously equipment-wise and everything else. So why?
Well, as the channel's grown a little bit, and me being a perfectionist and wanting things to be better and better, I thought I needed a new video camera. The sound could be better as well, so I'm hoping this sound's all coming out. So I did put a video up about some of the changes I'm making. I'll probably drop a link of it somewhere on the video, on the interview as well. But I just felt the need to do it. I just wanted the channel to be better and give better quality out there. So I invested quite a bit of my own money into it. Got myself a new video camera that is 4K as well. So it means that if I do want to post it in 4K, it gives me more editing ability. It's got some better sound kit out of it. And that's the major changes that I made to it all. And as well as also deciding to maybe just try and make the channel fund itself a little bit more by adding some of Amazon affiliate links down there, a little bit of kickback.
Excellent. So the other one I've got here is, why don't you review X and Y?
Well, it purely comes down to me getting hold of the kit, quite simply. I'm not sponsored. ATN, the BSAs, the BSAs, the Air Arms, those guys out there do not send me their latest kit. So I have to rely on either, number one, buying it myself. So if I buy it, I buy it myself, or I review it, and then 9 times out of 10 I'll sell it somewhere else at a reduced price to recoup some of that money, or I rely on my subscribers. So if somebody turns around and says, Steve, would love you to review, for example, the Yukon is a good example, and there's a video coming out on that soon, the Yukon Photon night sight. I've been asked for months and months and months, do a review on that, compare it to the ATN. I just haven't got one, and nobody I knew had one, and that, I rely on the subscribers. So eventually, of all people, it turned out to be my father that brought one, so I managed to steal it off him. So that's why I can't always go X and Y, but I do make mental notes, I do write them down, so that if I do see one or somebody offers me one, I go, yeah, I grab that, because somebody's asked me to do a review on it. But it's purely simply down to logistics and getting hold of the equipment.
Okay, well, it's been a pleasure, Steve. Hope you've enjoyed yourself.
Well,
shared a bit of knowledge.
Yeah, well, hopefully I just wanted to put this together because I think those were the top 10 or 12 questions. I don't know how many were there. Questions that I get asked all the time. So I thought, yeah, I'll put this video together and just sort of just answer them and just be as honest as I could about it all.
Well, thank you very much. Cheers.
Cheers. And you make a great John Bishop.